morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stephania Octavia Matthew, and I'm from LSPR Communication and Business Institute, Indonesian student under the supervision of Mr. Charles Bonar Sirait as my mentor and lecturer. And I'm here today to talk to you about climate change issue that is very important for the sustainable world. What do you really know about climate change? The Earth's climate has always changed and evolved, and some people may think that climate change is not a big problem for them. People are still unaware of the real impacts of climate change, and the concentration of climate change has been risen, and so are the global temperature along with it, since the industrial revolutions as a result from human activities, such as burning fossil fuels and changes in land use, and that's why there's a rule on land use. We've been burning more and more fossil fuels, like oil and coal, which release the CO2, to power our homes, factories, airplanes, and cars, and many more. There's also a lot more of us. The global population has tripled in the past 70 years, and we're consuming more products from animals that release another pollutant. So all those gases are released into the air, and when sunlight gets into the Earth's atmosphere, some of the heat gets trapped and the planet gets warmer. And that's what we call as greenhouse effect. Millions of people are likely to suffer worsening food and water shortages. Climate change has threatened people's life in this world. This has urged many countries to take actions. And the problem that we think of is important in this chapter is the impact of climate change in the economic and political fields. Climate change is becoming one of environmental concern and the greatest global challenge in society. This issue has become the most dominant issue in the international agenda because this problem can change the entire economic and political development all around the world. And the relation between climate change and world's economic politics making a chain that will not be broken and become a new problem in the next era. Climate change can also refer to the cause and effect relationship between global warming and climate change. That is, can refer to a change in the average condition of the atmosphere that is brought on by climate change. And the main factors of climate change are the development of political and industrial economies. And what are the impacts to our world? What are the impacts to ourselves? First is global temperature rise. Our planet's average temperature has risen about 0.9 degrees Celsius since the late 19th century. Second is warming oceans. Because the ocean has absorbed the increased heat. Sea level rise. Jakarta is the fastest shrinking city in the world. If we look at our models, by 2050, about 95% of North Jakarta will be submerged, says Harry Andreas, who has studied Jakarta land subsidence for the past 20 years at the Bandung Institute of Technology. Next is sea level are rising about 3 millimeters a year. Because seawater expands, a temperature gets warmer. Shrinking ice sheets and decreased snow cover, melting ice sheets and glaciers also add trillions of tons fresh water into our ocean. And next is ocean acidification. It's the decrease in the pH of the Earth's oceans. Extreme events such as thunderstorms, downbursts, tornadoes, blizzards such as snowstorms, ice storms, and dust storms. People all around the world are already losing their homes. And if things carry on, millions more of us will have to pack up too. Entire coastal cities could be underwater within 80 years, like Miami in the US, Osaka in Japan. Entire island nations in the Pacific could completely disappear. And what have we done so far? Climate change is caused by humans, and humans are also the ones who can combat and fight it. If we replace fossil fuels with renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind, which don't produce greenhouse gas emissions, we might still be able to prevent the worst effect of climate change. The United Nations Framework Conventions of Climate Change (UNFCCC) was made because of the awareness of the developed countries, since the developed countries are more aware of the environment rather than the developing countries. The first country that was concerned about climate change issue was the US in 1985, when they found out that there is a hole in ozone layer in Antarctica, and they started to realize that climate change is happening, they are really happening, and is caused by human activities. Even though climate change effect was only felt by the Americans at that time, this issue became hot news in other countries. And as a consequence, we need to take action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to adapt to the impacts from climate change. Because the concentrations of greenhouse gas in the Earth's atmosphere is directly linked to the average global temperature in this Earth, Climate Neutral Now is an initiative launched by the UN Climate Conference in 2015 to encourage everyone in the society to take action to help achieve a climate neutral world by mid-century, as what is said in the Paris Agreement. And according to the Climate Action in UNFCCC, Climate Neutral Now is an action that invites not just organizations and government but also us, citizens, to work together for the global climate neutrality by addressing their own climate report footprint through these three-step methods. The first one is measure their greenhouse gas emissions, that is called as the carbon footprint. Second one is reduce them as much as possible through their own actions. And three, compensate those which cannot be currently avoided by using UN certified emissions reductions or CERs, a type of carbon credit. And the main objective of the Paris Agreement is the effort to limit temperature rises further to 1.5 degrees Celsius, and the threat of climate change need to be responded as soon as possible by keeping the global temperature rises in this century far below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Indonesia itself has committed to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions by 26% by the year of 2020. As we bring our climate change issue as a part of important sustainable world issues, I would like to thank you for your attention and hope that this sharing session give all of you a clear understanding of climate change issue that's really happening right now. If you need further information and detailed information regarding the issues, kindly text in the comment column below this video. Have a great sustainable world. Thank you.